So how you doing? Today I'm going to run the ported Homelite Super XL-925. What's going on here is I'm kind of on the fence. One moment I'm like, I'm tearing it down. Next moment I'm like, no, I should leave it because I'm going to be, changing fuels and all that stuff. And, I'm going to be building another one that, I could make these changes to. And then I'd have both saws running that I could kind of compare to, Got all these options, and I'm on the fence. I'm bouncing around in my head and all that stuff. I haven't decided. So today we're going to run it, see what happens, I'm going to run it a little richer than last time. So the peak RPMs shouldn't be screaming up there as much. And it should be a little torquier in the wood. And I also tamed the chain down just a small amount to help see if that helps some, because it was how can I say it was a game of tug of war last time, pretty bad. So that should help too with how bad it was in that whole tug of war game. So what do you say we give it a run and see how she does today? Alrighty. So the first cut or two was great with the chain, but all of a sudden it just, it vanished. So I'm thinking I might have touched the dirt or something. I'm gonna take it in, take a look, see if I can figure out what I did. It might need a raker adjustment too, but I might have laid it back just a little too far. We'll see. Let me go in and see. I think I touched the dirt or something, because it was running great there at first. So let's see what happens. Alrighty, so I went down, I touched up the chain, reset the rakers. Now let's see what happens. I got a feeling we might have found a sweet spot, boys. So let's see. These RPMs might take off like a rocket right now. So I'm curious. Let's see what happens. make one more adjustment on this chain. We are really close, like really close. So I'm gonna make a quick adjustment and I think we're gonna have it. Alrighty? So I'll be back. Alrighty, let's give it another try. I changed the ankles just a little bit. Alrighty, let's see what happens. I really like the way it's running right now. I do. I think the wood might be throwing me off a little because it's frozen. It's hard. But the wood's frozen right now, and coming off of there, it's almost like ice shavings the way it feels. You know, the fibers just don't want to let go. And I'm wondering, I shouldn't say I'm wondering, I'm pretty certain that's what's throwing me off. So how about I wait? Just play with the saw a bit. We'll wait until we get some warmer days. We get into some wood that's not frozen before we make a judgment call. But we'll leave it as is until that time. I just want to be 100% certain before I tear the saw down and make adjustments. I don't want to do something, you know, that can't be undone. So I'm going to leave it as is, because right now I'm pretty happy with it. You'll notice the cuts may not be as fast as before. The chain is a lot less aggressive now, but it is a lot smoother. It's a lot easier to handle now. It's cutting more like it should. Before, it's been stretching my chain out so much that I'm going to have to replace it now. It's just, you know, it's just too stretched. It's going to wear out my sprocket, you know. So I'm going to go ahead and order a new chain, and yeah, we'll go that way. I think the chain's on the verge of breaking because of how aggressive it's been running. So, you know what I mean? I think we got her tamed down right now, because now my settings, like my depth gauge setting on the raker gauge is 25 thousandths, and this is the way it's cutting, and that's the way it should be. You know, before I was coming up like 15 thousandths and stuff, and it was still feeling too aggressive. So I think I got my tooth angles a little more correct now, because now I can run the 25 thousandths raker gauge setting, and boy, is it a lot smoother. So, hey, hope you enjoyed it. A little video of me tweaking the chain grinder. The dogs are all over here looking at me, barking at me. Can you hear them? But a little video of me doing some tweaks with the grinder, and get my chain, you know, grinding settings dialed in. So we'll see how she does here once she warms up enough that the wood's no longer frozen, you know. Alrighty, hey, we'll catch you on the next one. Later.